is Anything Can Happen Friday, the art and culture side of Southeast Asia.
Hi, Mr. Anthony.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. So now at our discussion regarding on the title, which is a similar title to what you'll be speaking on the upcoming forum with other SMEs and also MNC leaders regarding on corporate leadership, battle for the big ideas for sustainability. It is co-organized by Eco Nights. President Yasmin Rashid. So you know her quite some time ago.
Yes, because she started as a NGO pushing on sustainability, and we as a company always support NGO who does sustainability work like MNS, Malay Nature Society, and I believe we should support many more of this NGO.
So a bit of your background, Anthony Wong. You are the group managing director for a company called FRANGIPANI.
FRANGIPANI LANGKAWI.
FRANGIPANI.
Yes.
It's not easy to pronounce.
It's a flower called Plumeria.
That's
it's called temple flower, originally from India. Now, I started off in the nature field 39 years ago. A company called Asia Overland, specializing in nature tours. We were pioneer to develop tours to Taman Negara, homestay, longhouse, nature guide, ecotourism. So that has been part and parcel of our DNA since we started in 76.
So why sustainability is the core focus for your company?
Well, if you look at the world, you know, everybody can develop a country. It's a matter of money. But our environment is not actually looked after. A lot of developing countries will sacrifice the environment for development. And often a developed country, after they destroy the environment, then they talk about environment. So from day one, I've always focused on the environment. And, you know, whether it's profitable or not, we always allocate some fund to look at it, because Malaysia is still very much focused on development without considering environment.
So
many big projects.
Sustainability has never been part of the
culture
or economic planning of the government.
Yes.
But what inspires you to focus more on nature and preserving the ecology?
As a student, my hobby, part of my hobby was mountaineering. I was the first to climb Gunung Tahan without guide and teacher with student group in 72, and climb most of the mountain in West Malaysia, climb Kinabalu 37 times. And nature teaches you to be a little bit more sensitive to plants, insects, animals, and you realize that they're very fragile and we are not actually supporting them. And you look at river being polluted, the rubbish going in, you look at the sea, it's getting worse and worse. All beaches in the country are getting more and more polluted, and it's a whole system that the approach of the whole concept that, you know, we use river as dump site. I think it's the people's fault. We cannot leave it just to the government. All of us has to be responsible.
So when it comes to you, your approach of sustainability, what do you do exactly within the confines of your company in order to promote sustainability?
Well, all the companies that I run, Asia Overland, AOS Convention Event, FRANGIPANI Hotel, we always look at what we can do back for the community, employing local, training locals. From the day I started, I've always taken on students to teach them about tourism. Many small companies will not take their student in, so that, you know, we have share our knowledge, all the time. So in all areas, so the more profitable of my companies, the more they donate to educating the community, employing handicapped staff, and looking at ways to save energy, water, waste, and sharing this with the industry. Like at Frangipani Hotel, we've developed over 200 ways to save energy, water, waste. So we teach this to the university, and every school that goes to our hotel, we actually, don't charge them anything. We give them a light meal, and we teach them and share with hoteliers, with schools, with university. So this one way of educating people to be green is to save money.
Then this is all about saving environment, and then to sustain and also to educate the younger generation as well. So then they will know what's going on. I mean, we live in this environment, but then we tend to ignore what we have been doing to more like it's more like harm things to the environment. But other than the educating this community, what else have you been doing? Also, what has the Frangipani Hotel has been doing?
Now, for capacity building, we actually teach at the university as a adjunct professor at UUM Taylor's and a visiting professor to many universities, not only in Malaysia but all over the world, all over the region. I teach, and it's not for money. It takes a lot of my time.
Of course.
And we, of course, donate to green organization. So because we cannot do everything, so organization I mentioned, like World Wildlife Fund for Nature, Malay Nature Society, and books that sometimes we print, to share beauty of nature, like Taman Negara or Langkawi, and donate to articles in magazine related to sustainability. It could be a UN magazine, it could be any magazine, architecture and things like that. So we do what we can, and we actually are very serious, and we spend time on it. My personal time is very much taken up by sustainable teaching and education.
Frangipani Hotel is in Langkawi.
Yes.
And why did you choose this location after all? Because Malaysia has a lot of tourism locations.
Well, I have a camp lodge in Gombak called the Jungle Lodge Alang Sedayu. I built in 1991, 24 years ago, that teach children to love camp, nature. If they love nature, they'll protect nature. We've actually we invested in Langkawi in the late 80s, a small share in a large hotel, but this opportunity came in about 10 years ago, 2005, to take over the hotel. And because in the tourism field, the hotel is the most polluting. It's about 50% of carbon footprint, because a lot of food, a lot of energy and things like that. So this is the biggest opportunity to teach people how to save. Now, I've always been talking about saving environment for our children's children, but people here in Malaysia just don't get it. So 4 years ago, I realized that I've made a wrong approach. So saving is a better issue. I spoke in an accountant conference on saving, and they say that's approach. Show people green is saving, equate every green practices saving, and that's the approach for people. Now, I do not blame the general public, because it is not ingrained in the DNA of our education system, of our kindergarten. So we need to really push. All media has to push. Radio, TV, papers. We all have to have collaborative effort.
That's a very really interesting efforts that you guys are doing right now. We will take one short break. When we return, we will discuss more on the kind of work that you have been doing in the past right now, as well as a question about the awards that you have won, especially Green Awards, which has been focus of your company, especially in the areas of sustainability.
This is Anything Can Happen Friday, the art and culture side of Southeast Asia.
Hey, this this is Arlene.
Welcome back, this is Grace.
And of course, we are again with Anthony Wong to discuss about the corporate leadership battle for the big ideas for sustainability. So talking about your company, you shared a lot in terms of your company's vision, goal in promoting sustainability. And at the same time, you also won numerous awards. Can you share with us the kind of award that you have won and why it's called green? Can you tell us what green means in terms of the hotel industry?
We won a number of PATA award. PATA is a peak body for tourism and hospitality, Pacific Asia Travel Association. We've won ASEAN Green Hotel Award, all the ASEAN countries. We've won LANGKAWI for LANGKAWI, given by the authorities. And there is an environment award by the Ministry of Green Technology also called LANGKAWI Award. And we were the first to win that award in LANGKAWI.
Right.
Yeah. Now, award winning is one of the thing to show that we are doing the right thing.
And also to gain the credibility.
That's right. And we are happy to say that we are the greenest hotel in Malaysia.
But how do you define green? Is it just by name?
No. I use the general term green soup because most people understand. So green is more into sustainability. That means what we do is reduce. That means we don't even have any organic waste going out from our hotel. Everything is actually reused and recycled. And we grow a lot of our own food. We have 2 acres of organic garden, chicken, duck, vegetable, fish grown on site. So it's very little carbon footprint because it's reused again. Yeah, even our grey water and black water is actually treated organically by plants and microbes to get class 1 water, and we reuse the water again, so nothing goes out. So if there's no wastewater going out from the hotel, there's no pollution. Yeah, and that is what we mentioned by green or sustainable.
And it sounds very challenging to do all that from the first start until now to continue and maintain the practice.
Yes. Now, we started 10 years ago with 25 ways. I advertised in the newspaper, if anybody can show me 25 ways, I'll pay them a consultant fee. There were 3 PhD in environment came. They couldn't tell me 25 because I knew
20. To do it.
Yeah,
then you pay us.
That's right. I knew 25 ways at that time. So they said, oh, that's interesting. So over the years, step by step, we have developed actually close to 230 ways. To save. So we are actually producing a book, and UUM is probably publishing it to share with people so that people can learn green is actually saving, and then it save the environment.
Where can people access the book?
Well, we'll probably publish it this year. Yeah, and
would it be sold in major bookstores?
Well, probably yes. You know, it's from the university because they will take ownership of that publication.
But you can always go to your
yes, they can always
get
come.
access to the books.
And as I say, it's continuously learning, constantly experimenting. And I have 3 full-time environment officer. When I go there, it's also that is to experiment with things to save more money. So our target is 10% water saving a year, and 5% energy, and 5% improvement on food grown on site.
Very interesting. They're doing this based on the personal efforts of your company. But how do you define green efforts? Is it just that or something more than that?
Yes, it's not just practices, but it's in the whole thinking. It's not just your own organization. You have to help others to achieve sustainability. So every professional body, we form an NGO in Langkawi called Langkawi Business Association, or Persatuan Niaga Kawi, and we're teaching every other organization, from taxi drivers to ferry operators to schools, how we can collaborate and save the environment further.
So you have been reaching different community and to educate them. But how about hotels?
Yes, many hotels come and actually learn from us for free, and I teach this all over the country through the hotel association, from budget Hotel Association, Malaysian Budget Hotel, Malaysian Association of Hotels, MA, and Hotel Owners Association. So I've been teaching this all over the country.
Alright.
And many hotels come and learn.
So
and we say, come for free.
Learning is one thing, but implementing what they've learned is another story.
Now, this is also a big issue. A lot of the general managers, when you say implementing long term, many GM are there for 2 years, 3 years.
Right.
And some of these are very long term. It's not just 2 years, sometimes it's 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, because it involves capital investment, involves design. So now, many people come to me, I say, you need to work with a green architect. And amazingly, Malaysia has adopted the Green Building Index, working with architects and engineers. And it's only Kuala Lumpur that has actually recognized this. And I believe all states have to do that. So when you say sustainability, it goes with building design first.
So when you mentioned about building design, can you explain more about it?
Well, you can have what you call passive design that will actually reduce your heating of the building, so you could have more shade. If you can remember, in the 80s, many buildings were made of glass completely.
Probably we were 5 years old, so maybe
yeah, okay.
remember.
80s and 90s. So we were actually aping the West in totality, because there they like to heat up the building. Here we have to keep the heat out. So now you see that we've gone back to the old tradition. There is a roof cover, there is a window overhang. So now you see this overhang right across the whole floor of the building outside. So we are learning. People make mistakes, and continuously we have to learn. Yeah, and harvesting of rainwater. It was initially incorporated into Building Act, is now in KL, but it should be to all state, because that will also reduce flash flood if we have all building harvesting rainwater. So many things we are still weak. Malaysia may have second world infrastructure, but we still are only third world thinking.
So we haven't really connect the dots. Like maybe some of us have some great ideas, but all of us are mainly working in silos.
Yes.
But what is the advantage in terms of creating this green concept in the hotel industry? Because you say that you don't want it just to be in your hotel, but you want it to be something that every hotel adopts.
Now, the hotel industry or the tourism industry is probably the second biggest industry in Malaysia, and it will keep growing. And the tourism industry is the biggest industry in the world. 1 in 11 or 1 in 12 is employed in the industry. Now, if we're going to keep growing the industry, it's not just the hotel industry, it's all buildings. But the hotel industry play a very important part, because if you look at, we have got 28 million visitors coming to Malaysia. Where is all the waste going? Where is all the energy coming from? So there's a lot of waste. So this is where we have a lot of opportunity to go greener. And greening, the only way to advise owners of hotels is saving. So if you can look at saving, they will go green.
We'll take another short break. When we return, we will talk more about other areas that Mr. Anthony can share in terms of corporate leadership and also for sustainability.
This is Anything Can Happen Friday, the art and culture side of Southeast Asia.
Hey, this is Arlene.
Hello, this is Grace.
We are again with Mr. Anthony Wong from FRANGIPANI. LANGKAWI. Sorry, I am very bad at mentioning those kind of words. But anyway, just to go back to the question about green efforts and green concept. So what are the challenges that you face when you're trying to somehow promote the idea to other hoteliers, and also and also challenges from other hoteliers to be able to get the awareness to able to somehow impose the green concept in their own hotel.
And of course, you mentioned it's a long term, and then with the GM's term in the hotel, 2-3 years is pretty short for them to maintain and sustain the practice.
Now, first of all, is to our own staff. I have 140 employees. It's a mindset change. When I started not throwing rubbish out and separating the waste, they think I was very very stingy. You know, they didn't understand. And when I started growing my own food from the waste, they say, no, this is dirty. Good fertilizer come from bag. So it's a mindset change.
Right.
So the mindset is the most difficult to get people to think green.
So what are the usual Malaysian mindset when it comes to sustainability and environmental
not my
preservation?
responsibility. You know, government responsibility.
Everything goes back to the government, is it?
Well, they think this way, but they don't realize that it's equally their responsibility towards the environment and towards the future of the country and, you know, the people. So, one, you have to make sure your own organization understands sustainability and practice. Then two, the industry structure is such that the hotel schools don't even teach sustainability. Some are beginning to teach sustainability. And when you talk about sustainability, it's multidiscipline. It's not just for hotels in F&B, but it's into design, into flow, into equipment, into, I say, when I say design, is in architecture first, building architecture and engineering. Some of this may cost a little bit more, and the general manager has got very little say in it. Sometimes they build a hotel and they get a management company to come in, and many management company does not understand sustainability. More and more of the international company, the big companies like the Hilton, the Marriott, they are pushing for this. Yeah, because in the developed country, they realize that clients are a lot more aware in those countries. So they will want to go to hotels that are a lot more sustainable. So here is still a very new concept.
Right.
Yeah. So
but then these issues have been going around for many years, and it's also a matter of how government is addressing this issue.
That's why if we can put it in the law that they must practice maybe say 20 or 50 ways to save or to be sustainable. If the license is necessary, then people will act. It's just like the corporate company. It's compulsory they have CSR practice. Now, if they don't put it as compulsory for the public listed company, many companies will not do it.
So only for the public listed companies that they need to do CSR.
That's right.
So, but for SMEs, which is also your company is part
it's
of it.
very hard to control and make it a law.
Right.
So companies are very small. But I think if we make it as part of our lifestyle and part of our DNA, from school days, we teach children, you know, like I teach this among my kids. You know, I remember when my son was very young, about 2-3 years old, someone just open the window and throw a plastic bag out along the highway. Said, Dad, stop the car, pick that up. I said, son, we're driving so fast, we'll cause more accident. We stop the car to pick it up. So we have to approach this from little children days, you know, from kiddie. Then they can think sustainable.
And also at the same time, I've seen a few countries, and one of them is Singapore and Korea, where they actually practice paying fine. If you throw rubbish on the ground, on the road, then they will be fined straight away.
But you know the funny thing,
so like
we have
they
this
have
law.
CCTV installed, so it will be recorded at the same time.
But you know the funny thing about Malaysia is, do you notice whenever you have the signboard denda RM500,
they throw more rubbish down there.
You throw rubbish, you will see a pile of
rubbish there.
What I'm trying to say is it needs to be more strict.
Yeah, enforcement.
Yes.
In Malaysia, it's funny because enforcement is quite weak. And when the government really conduct enforcement, actually people complain out of it. I still remember there's this one law where the government enforced those who drive cars, even the people on the back seats need to wear seat belts. not just the people sitting on the front seats. But actually, a lot of people complain about it instead of accepting it as part of the norm in terms of providing safety.
This is where the government has to be more strict.
Yep.
You know, enforcement is an issue in this country. You can look at, just look at most of the islands of Malaysia. They are all getting from bad to worse. Yeah? Where is the enforcement? Who are the enforcement officer? Why are they not able to carry it through? Now, this is an issue. It's a cultural issue, but we have to address.
Right. So, in terms of the way forward, let's focus on the hotel. What are the footsteps that do you think hotels should not follow in order for them to be more sustainable?
Well, they have to separate the waste. Yeah? And not just the waste. Hotel has a lot of food that sometimes they say in a function someone has ordered for 300, and maybe often, you know, Malaysian culture, they don't call you, they don't inform you when they don't show up. So out of 300, maybe only 250 turn out, and that 50 people of food could be actually wrapped up hygienically and donate to the poor. Why waste food? You know, food is energy. You know, but the law sometimes don't allow them, and of course they also want to make more money. With that 50 not coming out from the kitchen, that they can make more money. So there are a lot of rules that has to be changed to adapt sustainability, and it's got to be a science. The science must back up all the action. So science is not enough to collaborate with all our activities. Whatever we do today, we have to look at the science behind, because a lot of people would say, this is rubbish, but if you've got the science backing it up, then it will be much more solid.
Right. And one of the other ways to move forward is to constantly update the public, because our general knowledge on the ecosystem is pretty outdated, I would say, in terms of also like global warming and ozone layer. It's actually has been improving little by little, but at the same time, people's awareness on these issues, it just stays there. They don't keep themselves updated on what's the latest issue or what's the improvement there.
I think planners of city has to get more knowledge, because it goes into city planning, country planning.
Right.
For example, our rivers are getting more and more polluted. Now, in many developed countries, wastewater from grey water should not channel into the river. They should be treated in what you call constructed wetland, into wetland ponds that they can treat it using natural way. Even in that water, wastewater should not be discharged into the river. It should be zero discharge. You know, they could be turned back and into gardens for public. Yeah. So we are still very backward in our thinking.
Right.
There are modern technologies out there, but we are not utilizing it because it has been privatized. So many things privatized, we cannot do anything. You know. So once again, I think education is key, I believe.
One of the education that the government has approached to Malaysia is, if I'm not mistaken, every Saturday, all the supermarkets and shops, they don't put, they do have plastic bag, but then they wouldn't actually pack it with all those products. They will ask the clients first whether you need the plastic bags or not. But then my personal opinion is they just should not have plastic from the first place.
I think you're correct. You hit it quite right. Plastic is a very big issue. And I'm very glad that some states like Penang has been able to declare plastic free. Then people will use recycle bag more. And this is again, the capital city like Kuala Lumpur will have to do this. You know, ban plastic bag as much as possible. But if they have to give plastic bag away, every shop should charge. You know, once people start charging, of course there will be complaint. But encourage people.
The mindset.
Yes.
Some people say, I just pay. I'll just pay. Why not?
It's okay.
It's not that expensive.
But majority will stick in their mind that they have to use recycle bag. So again, everybody must work together.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will take another one short break. When we return, we will talk about the forum that Anthony Wong will be speaking, which is on corporate leadership.
This is Anything Can Happen Friday, the art and culture side of Southeast Asia.
Hey, this is Arlene.
Hi, this is Grace.
We are again with Mr. Anthony Wong to discuss about corporate leadership in terms of battling the big ideas for sustainability, which is also the same topic for next month's event, which will be in conjunction with On Earth Day, 22nd of April, in the morning at 10 o'clock at White Box Publica, Solaris Dutamas. So Anthony Wong will be one of the panelists. What will you be sharing at the forum itself?
I will be talking, basically, since I'm in the tourism industry, I'll be talking about the hotel industry. But I'll also touch on people's behavior. And as I say, it is sharing and collaborating. In fact, there it says about the big ideas. I think all of us are working to collaborate to make it work. There's no such thing as one is better than the other, or one is doing more than the other, because this is where in the green field of sustainable business, sharing is part of the principle of sustainability.
When we talk about environmentalists and people who wants to protect the environment, we often think about the civil society or activists. Seldom we think about corporations. In fact, when we talk about corporations, we often think that corporations are the culprit that cause a lot of the ecological problem in this country as well as the world beyond. But what do you think of Eco Nights hosting such an event, inviting corporate leaders instead of activists to discuss about sustainability? Do you think this is actually something that should carry on, like should be a culture in Malaysia where
I think that's a great idea, because corporation makes money from business, and business is not sustainable if they don't look at the environment. To survive in the 21st century, I think the young people expect businesses to be responsible. The young generation want to do something right. This can be seen very much in the Western society. So if we don't do this, in fact, corporation will not survive. More and more people expect businesses to go green and to be responsible. So EcoNight is getting it right by actually making people who makes money from business to put that little bit of money back to sustainability.
So what can this forum do to the public after this forum is ended? Then what do you have any other plans to maintain or continue the
I think we should support organizations like EcoNights, similar organization that's doing this, and I believe this is only a small example of what corporate companies should be doing, and hopefully with this talk more people can come forward, do something positive towards the environment.
I want to ask you regarding on the speakers, other speakers that will be speaking together with you. Can you share with us what their background is?
Well, they are of different background. I think it's great. Serena Hijaz is an architect, a very well-known architectural firm started by her father and have won many international awards. And then you have got Philip Ling from DG, and DG is one of the greenest telco company. They have always been doing CSR, and they recently won the Prime Minister Award for CSR. You have got Faisal Fazil from Tanah Merah Tropical Spa Products, and they have actually been very successful. They have even opened up in Singapore, and I think everybody now spa is part and parcel of wellness and health product. And Michael Cho, which is a software, and you need technology to go green. So it's everybody. Yeah, I think it's a big range, and we're given 15 minutes, and I think it's we just share, or else it'll be too boring for one speaker.
Another area that I want to know, what's your goal in terms of the next 5 years? What do you wish to do for Malaysia in terms of promoting sustainability?
Well, I hope to make Langkawi one of the top green island of the world.
Right.
And I hope that the hotel Frangipani can be a best case study to keep preaching and teaching others, so people can come and learn from how to save the environment and save money.
Mm-hmm. What about in terms of engagement with the government? I'm sure government needs a lot of advice from people on the ground in terms of policy making.
We have actually had the CIBD, the government organization to look at greening of buildings. They have come for a course with us. Quite a few government department has actually come over and learn for 2 days or 1 day program how to save like what we do. Yeah. So the government is actually serious, but somehow they do not know how. That because it's multidiscipline, it's not just construction, it's also how you practice it, how you build people to think this way. So through our experience, it's been a step-by-step learning, so we share. So when people come, we bring different departments and share with them what we need to do.
Right. Mm-hmm. So anyway, before we end the show, I just want to highlight that the forum, which is entitled Corporate Leadership, Battle for the Big Ideas for Sustainability, hosted by Eco Nights, will be held on the 22nd of April 2015 in conjunction with Earth Day at 10 o'clock in the morning at White Box Publica. And the speakers, besides Anthony Wong, will be Srina Hijaz, Philip Ling, Faisal Fazil and Michael Chu. All of them will be discussing about how their companies are trying to promote green efforts and green concepts, as well as trying to ensure that sustainability is the way forward for Malaysia. Any last message, Mr. Anthony Wong, before we end this session?
Now, this event is held by Eco Nights, yeah. And there is a small contribution of 50 ringgit donation to support Eco Nights' effort in promoting sustainability for Malaysian, because they are not for profit, and whatever they do, it goes back to education and training for young people in this country.
Right. Mm-hmm. And education definitely is one of the key way forward in terms of trying to get more young people to be more aware of the idea of sustainability. Sure. Thank you very much, Anthony Wong.
Thank you, Arlene.